In this demonstration, we're going to be taking a look at how Autodesk Sketchbook Pro can assist us in taking a single digital model that we can pass through a series of Autodesk products to streamline, collaborate, visualize, and perfect the overall design process. We're going to start our design process with Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. Sketchbook Pro is a tool that allows us to two-dimensionally lay out and collaborate different designs. Sketchbook Pro is running mainly on layered paint applications that give us the functionality to be able to quickly conceptualize different ideas. Within Sketchbook Pro, I'm going to sit down and start to create some different line geometry to create this chaise lounge that I'm working on the design for today. And in this design, there's certain aspects that I'm interested in collaborating. I've taken a look at some other design ideas and design criteria that I want to follow for this design. Using a series of different tools within Sketchbook Pro, I can also make use of accuracy in sketching. I don't necessarily always have to freehand my geometry, but if I want to create some nice smooth curve geometry, I can use some of my ellipse. If I want to create straight lines, I have different commands that allow me to do that very quickly with keyboard shortcuts. The tool is very hands-on, straightforward, easy to use. Step in and start right from scratch creating your components. I can also make use of symmetry. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and turn my horizontal symmetry tools on, and I'm going to go ahead and start to build up some concepts for these different chair legs, an important feature of this chaise that I'm designing that I want to make sure that I incorporate, and I can incorporate that accurately, equally on both sides, giving me the flexibility to use some of those symmetric tools within the interface. I'm going to start working with some shadings. There's a variety of different types of brushes and tools that we can grab. We have the ability to size up, change angle, and completely customize the brushes, so our brush options are limitless within the Sketchbook Pro interface. If I don't like something that I've done previously, I can very easily undo it with my Control-Z, making it really handy for me to be able to go back in and start working with this data. I also have the capability to start to use some different soft erasing tools. Now I'm working on a specified layer here. I'm not working on the original layer that I created the couch design on. I just want to create some highlights to get more of a actual representation as is design. I'm going to grab some different colors from my color wheel, and I'm going to change layers of the couch. I want it to be in front of the shading in the backdrop. And some other things that I'm going to be able to do with this tool as well. I'm going to go ahead and add a layer, and I want to add a little more realism in the scene. So I'm going to grab some of my additional paint tools and create some wood floor design on this component. So I'll go ahead and grab just the right color that I want to make use of and create some of this floor design. The tools I'm using to do this, I'm using a bamboo tablet to create or to use my pen tools within Sketchbook Pro right now. I'm not using my mouse, I'm using a bamboo tablet, and that makes it very easy for me to be able to use a simple pen on a pad and create this geometry within Sketchbook Pro. Some additional shading I want to incorporate on the couch. Now, I'm going to create this shading, but I'm not necessarily going to keep it at the same level, so I'm just going to create the shading where I want to generate the shading. Don't necessarily want it on the top, I'll do it down here on the bottom. I'll go ahead and pull that off on the top section as well. I can go ahead and turn the transparency of some of that specified layer a little bit lighter, so it's not as apparent as I'm creating this overall design. Now, the nice thing with Sketchbook Pro is it allows me to sit down and within a matter of minutes come up with different conceptual designs. Go ahead and color in these chair legs as well, forgot about that, and finish off my design with a signature. So very easily I'm able to sit down. Sketchbook Pro allows me to create these conceptual designs very quickly. Now, I can also make use of another tool with the output from Sketchbook Pro, which is Autodesk Design Review. Design Review is a tool that allows me to sit down and collaborate a design. It doesn't matter if I collaborate 3D Inventor models with Design Review, AutoCAD drawings, JPEG images in this case. I have the ability to actually work with all different types of data within Design Review. Design Review allows someone to go in and redline documentation. So they don't need Design Review on their end. They can download it for free. It's a free download. And they could sit down and start to incorporate the changes. So if the customer would have said, you know, I wanted to decrease the thickness on one end, I want to put some round off on the chair backing here, and I want to increase the overall angle on the backside here, I can gain their feedback digitally. So I'm going to go back to my original sketchbook model. Now I've already created some of these different design changes within my model, and because I'm using a layered scheme, I can go ahead and incorporate in or bring in old designs and incorporate in some of the new markups that my customer has made. So I can go ahead, I'll just go ahead and turn on some of these changes that I've made note of. I've added an angle to the chair backing, I've modified the arch on the chair itself and created some rounded edge, and I've slimmed down the actual cushion size. Once those models are completed within Sketchbook Pro, I can now bring that same image right into Autodesk Inventor. So I can start sketching and building my geometry right on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and turn some already built sketch geometry on within Autodesk Inventor. Once I've built, you know, the two-dimensional representations in Sketchbook Pro, I can sketch right on top of those designs within Autodesk Inventor, again using a single digital model to continue this design process. I'm going to go ahead and grab these sketches, and we're going to create what's referred to as a loft to create some of this surface geometry that we want to have things line up on an as-built case for this model within Autodesk Inventor. I'm going to go ahead and follow a certain curve. I'm going to follow that back curve evenly around that design, and I'll go ahead and build off that loft geometry, giving me a physical representation of what this couch is actually going to look like and appear like in real life. I'm going to go ahead and add some fillet geometry onto the front edges. I want some nice rounded corners on the chaise, but just on those front edges for the fabric to be wrapped around. And now I get a nice representation of what that chair back looks like within Autodesk Inventor. I can also, inside of Autodesk Inventor, build off the actual components or the actual manufactured or cut wood components for the bottom of this chair. So I can create a bill of materials of all the different components, legs, in this case I only have one right now, and all the different cut components, so I can make sure that I can actually build what I'm creating digitally. Go ahead and roll down or roll forward in the design process a little bit here, and we can see the remainder of the chair legs that I've created within Autodesk Inventor. So now I get a nice realistic approach of, can I build this model? Is this a realistic design? And how am I going to manufacture this? Last but not least, I have the capability of visualizing this information. So within Autodesk's series of products, Autodesk Showcase is a tool that allows me to very realistically visualize this. So I can visualize a realistic representation within Autodesk Inventor, but I can further visualize realistic representations with wood grains, wood grain directions, fabrics, 3D textures, lighting conditions, and other important aspects of rendering within Autodesk Showcase. And this gives me the ability to get a realistic perspective of experiencing my product before it's real in a possible lifelike environment. Also being able to very quickly change colors and gain different ideas and material selections within the room that I'm dropping this chaise or incorporating this chaise into. So these tools allow me for better productivity and streamlining my design process using this series of Autodesk products.